Several young widows were fighting over me, wanting me to become their husband. There are 30 widows like this in the village. Their longing for men has driven some of them nearly insane, and a few even begged me to stay overnight. The reason is simple. In this village, women far outnumber men. Even many beautiful young girls cannot find husbands. This is not an ordinary village. It is quietly known as the Widow Village. The name comes from the fact that among more than 30 women here, almost none have a complete family. Most of them lost their husbands before turning 30. Some men left for work and never came back. Some died young from illness, leaving their wives and children behind. And some women never even had a wedding, just a marriage certificate. A few months later, the men left, and the women became widows. What makes this place even more unusual is that these women still long to become mothers. Even without husbands, they will find ways to achieve that dream. Some secretly go to nearby towns just to have a child. To outsiders, this might seem unbelievable, but in their hearts, having a child means having someone to rely on, a reason to keep living. One day, I set out to meet one of the women who represents this village. The mountain path leading there was muddy and rough, with pools of water scattered everywhere. At one spot, a stream constantly washed over the path, leaving it soaked and slippery. Riding a motorbike was nearly impossible. I had to push it along. Yet this was the road the women and children had to travel every single day. Children walked for hours to school. Women carried firewood down to the market, trading it for salt and rice, all along this muddy trail. On that day, I carried a bag of rice on my back and a chicken in my hand. It wasn't much, but I knew to them it meant a rare and precious meal. At the entrance of the village, I saw her standing at the doorway of her small wooden house. She was thin, with her hair loosely tied. The house itself was low, its beams barely 1.70 meters in height. Tall people like me had to stoop to enter. Inside, it was clean but extremely simple. There was no fridge, no television, no decent furniture. In the corner, 2 sacks of rice were stacked, her entire year's supply. Yet it still wasn't enough. She would need to buy more. When she spoke of this, she smiled faintly, but in her smile there was helplessness and sorrow. She had 2 children, an 11-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. While they went to school, she stayed behind, cooking and working the fields. Meat was a luxury in their life. Sometimes they could go for months without eating any, usually only managing to buy some during the new year. Her marriage had no wedding ceremony, only a certificate. In the cities, weddings often cost tens of thousands, even millions. But here, marriage was just a simple agreement between 2 people. Her husband left and never returned. She never complained. She simply carried on, raising her children in silence. She also had a younger sister, 21 years old, who had never been in love. Shy and easily flustered, she spoke with her head lowered, her face flushing red. Villagers often teased her, warning her not to be mistaken for a bride-to-be. Her wish for the future was strikingly modest. She only wanted someone who would love her sincerely, without asking for money. In the cities, young women often look for luxury cars and houses, but here, the only request was true love. That day, I offered the rice and chicken, suggesting we cook a meal together. The sisters were overjoyed and immediately set to work.